Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. If I'm keeping count correctly, this is my third or fourth video interview. It's one of them that I'm doing, and I have Noellie Burger on the other end. She is on Zoom joining me. She has been in a lot of movies. We're going to get into all of it. 13 Fanboy, The Hearts of Darkness, The Making of the Final Friday, Frosty's Revenge Seasons Bleeding 3, and much, much more. Welcome, Noellie. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, thanks. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I know, I'm so glad to have you. I wanted to interview you for a while now, and I know I met you through Greg Gilbert, and he's a good friend of ours. He's actually in one of the questions, so if you're listening, Greg, when I post this, yeah. So I'm really excited to do this interview. I know we're actually in a movie together, Seasons Bleeding 3. But we have no parts together. But we are at least we have our names credited together, which is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll do some work together in the future, which will be fun. So I guess the first question I have for you is how did you start getting involved with helping indie films, whether it's on screen, behind the scenes, or even funding?
Actually, started through social media, Facebook. I was apparently living under a rock for the past 10 years, and I had no idea that there were horror film Facebook groups. And I joined a couple, and because I love horror movies, like a lot of people, like I grew up watching them. They're just
Mhm.
very, very special to me. And
Right.
I joined one called Deborah Voorhees Sheer Horror Group. And Deborah Voorhees played Tina in Friday the 13th Part 5. She's known and iconic in her role for her, uh, you know, endowments and she got shears to the eyes, which is why her group's called Sheer Horror Group. And I joined her group, and there were some great people in there. And she started talking about a film that she wanted to do called 13 Fanboy, and just kind of got involved with that. Actually, it was a year ago, probably today, I think, or give or take a day, that I flew down to New Mexico
Nice.
for that film. And I love the people, I love the experience, and I'm like, you know what, I really enjoy this. So this is kind of like my hobby. It's my me time. It's something I do that makes me really happy to be able to be involved in
Right.
indie films and to help them, be made and be a part of them.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah, and I'm also in the group, and Debbie's a good friend of mine. I interviewed her about Friday the 13th quite a number of years ago, and when 13 Fanboy was, I guess, wrapping up filming, she reached out to me, and she's like, "Can you interview me to do 13 Fanboy?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." I would do anything for her, like especially because with my company Gravestone Films, she helped me a lot with the equipment to like how to like make a movie. Like she gave me a lot of tips and everything just in a private message, and then she put me in touch with Haley Greenbauer, and I interviewed her about 13 Fanboy, which is really cool. And Debbie is such a sweetheart. Like she is literally a sweetheart.
she is. I was going through some things in my personal life, and she had heard about it. She actually called me, and she's like, "Hey, I'm
Nice.
just checking on you. How are you doing?" And yeah, she's
Right.
just such a wonderful person. I love
She
her.
really is. I love her too. She is absolutely amazing. And obviously I want to talk to you about something regarding her after the interview is up and everything. But I'm really excited to mention this to you because I spoke to Amanda and Carl about it, and they're 100% on board. They said, "Scotty, it's up to you to do this." It does regard Debbie Sue Voorhees, so I do want to talk to you about this then. So remind me if I forget. Speaking of 13 Fanboy, Debbie Sue Voorhees, it's her company. She directed it. She also was in it. And A lot of the cast and crew from past Friday the 13th movies are in it. So, like, how did you get involved with it, and what was that experience like?
I just saw her starting to mention it on her Facebook group, and I thought it was really neat. I actually just started off with backing it through an Indiegogo crowdfunder campaign, and I helped run some like games that she was playing in her group to kind of advertise, and I helped promote the crowdfunder. I had bought some cards and had them handed out to cons and stuff when those were going on,
Yeah.
and just helped out a lot, and she knew that I helped out a lot. So when there was an opportunity to have some extras in a scene, she reached out to me and asked if I wanted to come out and be in a scene, and I'm like, yeah, like I am going to make this happen. And
Nice.
I thought like it was going to be like a, would have to pause the movie and be like, see that's my pinky finger, like I would have been happy
Right.
with a body part in the film. And here come to find out it was a horror convention scene, and I am actually Dee Wallace's handler in
That's
the film.
awesome.
I'm like right beside Dee Wallace, like an amazing horror icon, and I'm
Hmm.
very
Oh my God.
intimidated. They're just like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, that's Dee Wallace. Okay,
That's
hi.
awesome. Dee Wallace is absolutely amazing. She is such a sweetheart. Like she made time for. She only had 20 minutes because she got called on set the same day as an interview with me, and she literally made time to do the interview. And she in the hair and makeup chair, and she's like, I'll give you 20 minutes. That's all you got, though." And I'm like, "It's fine. That'll be enough." And it was like a 28-minute interview. Like she went 8 minutes over the time she needed because she's Dee freaking Wallace.
Yeah, and she is. She's so thoughtful of everybody else. Like as soon as she sat down beside me, she looks over at me, she
Mhm.
goes, "Hi," and I'm like, "Hi," and she's like, "Don't worry, I'll work you in." And I'm like, "You," like and she's
Right.
I wanted to make sure like
Nice.
it's like kind of involved in the scene because I didn't have any lines. I'm just sitting
Right.
beside her, money from people, patrons, but yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that's awesome.
experience, and I met so many wonderful people, and I was like, I really love doing this. I want to do this more.
Yeah, that's great because she's an amazing person, and I really want to meet her in person. I never met her. I had a great conversation with her, but I heard she's so many phenomenal things about her, and I know Greg also interviewed her, and he said she's amazing as well. And it's like, I mean, not many people can say they worked with Dee Wallace. You know what I mean? Like she did a lot of movies and everything, but when you have say, "Hey, I was in a movie with Dee Wallace," and you can say you were in a movie working exactly in the same scene with Dee Wallace.
Yep, sitting right next to her, a foot away.
Yes. What a thing. Like that's just amazing. Like I couldn't even imagine, like, you know what I mean? I'm sure people are like, "You got to be shitting me. You can't be serious."
Yep.
But that's awesome. So I also know that in Frosty's Revenge Season Bleeding 3, you play a character named Helen. So how did you get involved with that film?
I had actually, trying to think. I either somebody brought it to my attention or I had seen the casting call for it,
Hmm.
because it's actually filming very local to me, which is
Hmm.
really convenient because with a lot of the indie films I'm involved with, I volunteer my time.
Hmm.
And, so I don't have a whole lot of money to make it to film sets, fly in places and
Hmm.
drive in places.
All
But
right.
yeah, so I knew that you were involved and some other names of
Yep.
people that I knew, and I was like, oh, well, this will be exciting. This will be fun. So
Right.
yeah, I auditioned, and I know like it had come down to me and a couple other people or so, and
Yep.
I got the role, and I was really excited. So
That's
I was
awesome.
looking.
I knew you had no And I knew there was no chance in hell. Like, I mean, not no chance in hell. I knew there was no chance in hell you would pick somebody else over you. You know what I mean? Because you're such a brilliant actress, and you have such a big following. Like, you'd have to be kind of like a fool not to want you involved because you are very talented. You know the horror genre, and I mean, I seen the pictures. I mean, of the show, of the movie we're filming up in Pittsburgh with Amanda, and like just the effects of that was great. And I mean, I'm gonna be supporting you in everything you've done.
I really,
Obviously, no problem. No problem. And I mean, me and Amanda and Carl, we definitely want you to be involved with some projects we do for Gravestone Films as well. Like obviously, we want you to audition and we want you to help as much wherever you can. Like, because you're an amazing person. Like a lot of people don't realize, like the people that I interview, like they're really amazing. And you are like when I reached out to you for the interview and you said yes, I'm like I knew she would say yes, but I'm so happy because like I couldn't ask for a nicer person to be on my show.
oh, thank you. I really
No
appreciate
problem.
it. You make me
It's the
cry
truth.
out there.
That's the truth. Can you tell us a bit about your character Helen in the film?
She is a police officer. And I don't know how much I'm allowed to give away, so I'll
Right.
just a police officer in the film, and it's not a very big role, but it's definitely a supporting role in the film that
Right.
I'm just happy to be a part of.
All right.
I do get to do a little bit of my screaming, so that's always fun.
Yes, it is. That's awesome. And
So
you were on set this past Sunday, right?
I actually did not make it to that filming.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know we were on set and Justin said you might not be able to make it. I wasn't sure if you did or if you did or not. Because I know I was looking forward to saying hi to you and everything, but me and Amanda ended up leaving before, I believe, because we finished our scenes really early. But yeah, I didn't know if you were able to go there or not. Do you know when there's any other dates that we're filming?
He didn't get back to me. The director Justin didn't get back to
Okay,
me yet when that's going to be made up, but looking
awesome.
forward.
Yeah, it's exciting, and it's gonna be a cute little indie horror film. It's gonna be I know that it's I think it's gonna be on YouTube. So if anybody wants, they can follow my page, Scotty S McCoy author on Facebook, or follow Noellie. We'll get into where they can follow you at, and you can see where you can see that movie and see myself and Noellie in that movie and see how well that came about, because I'm really excited to see the final product of it.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Let's see. Next one. Okay, so hey, let's talk about Greg. So we're both mutual friends with Greg. I actually had my interview with him on Saturday. And I know he interviewed you as well. So how did you and Greg start speaking?
I believe, honestly, we met through Deborah Voorhees' horror group.
Really? Nice. That's
Yep.
awesome. And do you still talk to him? Do you have like any other interviews set up with him or anything like that?
I don't as of now. I know that he was having issues getting into
Yeah.
the studio for a while because of COVID. So I think he's playing catch up
Hmm.
on some people that he hasn't interviewed yet and wants to interview.
Right.
But I told him that I would be up for an interview anytime.
Right.
Greg's a lot of fun. He's really funny.
He is. He
He likes
is.
fun people and stuff. So
Yeah.
um, yep, he's a good guy. I haven't talked to him in a little while. I'm a pretty busy
Yeah.
person. We do catch up every
Oh,
couple of weeks on the phone and chit chat for usually a couple
yeah.
hours when
Yeah,
we get
that's
on.
how it is with me too. He calls me and sometimes I can't answer because I'm so busy. Or like he calls me at night because he's in like an hour ahead of us. And
Yep.
he calls me at like maybe 10 o'clock at night, but I have to be up early for work. I have to be up at 4:30 in the morning. And it's like, I'm sorry, Greg. I'm just getting ready to go to bed now.
Yep. Well,
And I know if I answer the phone, he's gonna, yeah, and if I answer the phone, he's gonna be, I'm gonna be on the phone with him forever, and I need to get my rest. And it's like, I'm sorry, Greg, but I promise you, if you call me on Saturday, I can answer. Let's see. So obviously, I mentioned earlier you have a laundry list of indie films that you're involved with. Another one is Hearts of Darkness, the making of the Final Friday. So, how did you happen to get involved with that film project?
well, I really enjoyed helping to promote Deborah Voorhees' 13 Fanboy, and obviously, Hearts of Darkness is a documentary on the making of Jason Goes to Hell, which
Mhm.
is it's one of those Friday the 13th films, whether you either love it or you hate it. I personally love it because it gave us something different. It went
Right.
outside the box and gave us a fresh take on Friday the 13th. And there are a lot of like unanswered questions in the film and stuff, so I'm really excited that they're making a documentary. Well, he
Mhm.
needed help with promoting the campaign, so I became a part of that team that helped to promote the campaign. And then the main person that was running like the street team, he got blocked from Facebook for like months, and so I kind of took over. And then
Okay.
that really helped me get my credibility in the industry. That when you
Mhm.
have Adam Marcus say, "Hey, she did this for me. She
Oh
was
yeah.
awesome. She helped us to get our crowdfunder to over $50,000."
Yeah.
And like that's that people knew that I was you know uh, worked hard.
Right. Right. And Adam Marcus, like he's really good. He's known for, of course, directing his first movie, of course, Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday, and then he also had Secret Santa, and all that. So like when he vouches for you, that's pretty big.
Yes,
That's
yes.
really big.
He's great. And his wife, Deborah Sullivan, she's also involved
Hmm.
in 13th Fanboy. Actually, I just
Awesome.
missed meeting her by like 2 hours.
Nice. And
Um,
what does she do in the movie?
she, what is her role? I forget because there's so many people involved in 13th Fanboy
Yes.
from, past, new names and past names of Friday the
Yeah.
13th. So,
Yeah.
I lost track. I think I don't think she's I don't remember.
And the thing is, the thing about that is that movie, it's not even out yet. Like, it was supposed to be out in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, but it got pushed, I believe, to the next Friday the 13th, which is what, August of this year?
I believe so, yeah.
So hopefully, COVID is wrapped up by then. I know that the vaccine is now out, so hopefully, everything gets taken care of and things start opening up again. That would be really nice.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
return to some sort of
yeah.
normal-ish.
I hope so. I mean, it's only a matter of time, though. We know that, just when. So can you let us know which other filming projects you are also a part of, what they are about, and any type of roles that you have in each of them?
Well, you had mentioned the one that Amanda and I are in together, Massacre Academy. That's
Yes.
from director Mark Cantu. He has a filming production company out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is just a few hours west of me. So that's going to be actually,
Mhm.
I'll be going there this weekend to film, to help out with another scene for filming.
Right.
That one was um, that's some young girls are being kind of tormented by a guy in a clown mask. And while I understand that that's like something that's used a lot, clowns, but hey,
Yeah.
if we didn't love killer clowns and clown masks, we wouldn't keep watching them. There's so many
Right.
there, and this one is definitely going to provide a really fun, bloody time. I can
Nice.
definitely to that because I was a part of a scene. It was a frat party scene, and there was a lot of blood.
Wow.
Lot of blood. I think
Nice.
I do not survive this one.
Nice.
Actually, one of the douchebag party goers pushes me towards the killer to try and get away.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. And when does that come out?
I am not sure on a release date for that.
Okay.
I think they only have 3 days left of filming, and
Okay.
Mark is so professional. He has literally been editing this together as he films it because he'll
Nice.
send some of the cast and crew little teasers of the actual movie with the
Right.
music. Now it's not perfectly finished,
Yeah.
but it's still like it shouldn't be too long after they're done
Right.
filming because he puts it together more or less as he goes.
Okay. So basically that frat guy was more of the Dr. Cruz to your Mrs. Shepherd.
There you go. Yeah.
Friday the 13th, Part 7, for those that don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, not fully, but pretty much pulled a Dr. Cruz.
Yep. Yep.
That's insane. Anything else that you're involved in?
Goodness. I am gonna be in a few films from Robert Restro. There's one called Z Dead End.
Okay.
That one has some people like Felissa Rose. That's a zombie film. I'm
Okay.
actually one of the main zombies. Actually, I'm listed as zombie number one in that
Nice.
film. So yeah.
Nice.
And then also he is doing a film called Brain Hunter 2,
Okay.
New Breed. I am in that as an FBI agent, and I will be
Nice.
working with Tamara Glenn from the
Nice.
Halloween franchise. So yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's
it's been
awesome.
exciting. Yeah, a lot of
Cool,
these
cool.
films should have been filmed already, but
Mm-hmm.
COVID. So, but
Yes, exactly.
I have
Let's go
a
ahead.
short involved in two coming up. One's called Open House. That
Okay.
one's local. Amanda is in that with me as well.
Nice.
Another film that her and I share, and also a short called Witch on a Walker
Okay.
by, what's funny is I messaged the director and I was like, how do you pronounce your last name? And I forget how he even said now, but it's like Kar yeah, just Witch
Something
on a
like
Walker.
that.
Look it up. He has some great films that he's working on, and he has a really
Nice.
great imagination. So that one should
Right,
be.
nice. Awesome. Let's see. So we know that the horror community is a huge family, obviously very loyal to the genre. So like what horror movie got you to be like, I'm a horror fan through and through? Like what was your first horror movie that you watched this basically said, I love this franchise.
One of the first horror movies I remember seeing was Nightmare on Elm Street, the
Nice.
original first one.
Mhm.
So Surprisingly, you would think Friday the 13th is my favorite, slasher series. It is not. It is. I am loyal Freddy fan. Love
Nice.
Freddy. I like the comedy aspect that they throw in
Hmm.
there
Yes.
with them. I love horror comedy, little jokes
Right.
thrown. But yep, Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's awesome.
Um, Grew up in the 80s. Love my 80s horror, the cheesy horror. I
Hmm.
like Linnea Quigley. Like I have never met her. I've talked to her, like messaged her, but I have never met her. If I ever
Right.
met her, I would totally fangirl over her because she's just such a huge part of 80s horror. And my
Mhm.
favorite film is actually Night of the Demons.
Okay.
That she Suzanne and then Amelia Kincaid and some other people are in it, and so that's my favorite
Nice.
film. But
That's so
yeah,
awesome.
I just love horror.
That's great. And it really is a loyal family, like a fan base. Like there's no other genre, fans better than the horror genre fans. Like, I really don't think there is. And I mean, even with these indie horror films, like crowdfunding after crowdfunding, and you have those diehard fans that'll donate a lot of money, and then you even have the smaller fans that, still help out, you know what I mean, for as many as they possibly can, help out with. And it's
Well,
great.
even sharing is helping if you can't,
Right.
financially contribute to a film. Just sharing.
Yep.
Actually, it's funny. I started a Facebook group of my own called Indie Horror Family because I would
Hmm.
literally have people reach out to me and say, "Hey, I got some extra money. Where should I
Right.
put it? What's out there? What's being
Hmm.
made?" Because people, trust my opinion on
Yep.
films. Okay, this one's going to be a good one. You need to, keep your eye on this one. So in that group, I have a list pinned at the top of the um, current indie horror
Hmm.
crowdfunders with the links to them and then the link to the page. Any that are in demand, I have a whole
Nice.
list pinned at the top. So if you go to my page and you want to know what's out there, what can you
That's
contribute
awesome.
to, then go there, and as many as I can find, people
That's
share them with me.
awesome.
I get them on the list.
That is awesome though. And like I said, I mean, even like you said, sharing is caring really, because if you can't afford to donate, just sharing it gets it to your friends, and you might have, four people that you shared it, like, you shared on your page, you could have four people that donated, even if they donated $5, you know what I mean? Like that's more than enough that's going to be helping a film, because a lot of people think like, making a film is so easy, all you need is the equipment. No, you don't. Like, you need the effects, you need the props, you need every single thing, and you cannot make a movie without the most important thing, and that's the funds, and you have to raise it somehow, whether it's an investor, crowdfunding, whatever you can do. And raising the money is the most important thing. So even if you share it, like, that is going to help that company or that person that is going to make the movie get that movie made.
Absolutely. Yep,
Yep.
100%. And I don't think that people, I mean, I don't think I even realized until I became a part of it how much
Hmm.
money comes out of these people's pockets, even,
Yeah.
to fund these films, all for the love of horror. That's another thing I love
Yeah.
about indie horror is, the 99% of the people making films in indie horror aren't making it to become this big, director or
Hmm.
actor and to make all this money. They just have a vision, or they have an idea that they
Yeah.
want to create and share with everybody who loves and has a passion for horror as much as
Right.
they do. That's their goal, and that's what I love about it. It's
Right.
fueled by passion, not money.
Right. And another thing about that is, like, it could be the world's worst horror movie, and some people, obviously, because they're not the diehard fans, but some people might rip it, but they'll still watch it. But it doesn't matter if it gets so many bad reviews or so many good reviews. It doesn't matter what kind of movie it is. If you're a horror fan, you're gonna watch that movie, and the cheesier, the better.
Oh, definitely. Actually, one of my favorite horror movies that came out in 1990, 91, I believe, was called Shock 'em Dead. Has Tracy
Nice.
Lords in it. It is terrible. Like typical cheesy horror movie. I
Right.
love that movie. I don't know why. But
Right.
yes, some of the cheesiest, worst, lowest budget films
Yeah.
honestly become, some people's favorites.
Right. And even look at Thanksgiving. It is such a horrible movie, like, from the horribly done CGI turkey. Like, you know what I mean? It's really a bad movie, but it's so bad that it's good.
Good. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. and the horror lovers will appreciate it for what it
Right.
is. They're not
Right.
expecting Hollywood films. They know
Exactly.
what these people are working with, and
Right.
they make great films with it, and
Right.
it's
And
entertaining.
I can't believe I'm gonna say, well, not say this, but do this. But another, it's a Christmas type of horror movie. It's called Santa's Sleigh. Did you ever see it?
I have not. I've heard about it.
Okay, so Goldberg plays the evil demonic Santa Claus, right? And I watched the trailer, and I did watch the movie then, but I watched it when I first watched the trailer, and I'm like, is that Fran Drescher in that? And I'm like, that can't be her. What would she be doing in this Christmas horror movie? And out of nowhere, they literally put in the trailer, they made a point to make sure this is Fran Drescher. She goes, "Hi, Santa." She does her signature laugh, and I lost it. I'm like, oh my God, this is literally the best.
I might have to put that high on my list and watch it.
Yes.
My boyfriend and I, we love horror. Actually, my boyfriend is Michael Taylor. He is a indie horror director, and
Nice.
actually, one of his films I'm involved with, it's called In the Window. That one's
Okay.
filmed on Zoom.
Right.
That's more of a thriller, but he's working on another,
Nice.
actually a Christmas horror film right now, also.
Nice. That's awesome.
Where I don't want to give too much away, but I know that you will laugh about this. But Amanda has also been offered a role in this film,
Okay.
and I will have a little role in it as well. And
Right.
Amanda and I are lovers.
Oh wow, that's interesting, and I could see that.
Yeah, so Amanda and I are going to be a couple in this.
That is awesome, though. That is so cool. That is so awesome. And
Yep.
yeah, that's so awesome. And I will do a little cheap plug. But obviously my company made our first feature film, Samhain. I don't know if did you watch that through and through yet?
I have not watched it through and through yet. I watched it bit by bit, putting subtitles in, which I
Nice.
still
Yep.
find the file. That's my problem now, is I can't find the file. But
And that's fine. I mean, we actually put out a post that we're not gonna put it on Amazon to stream now. We're actually gonna reboot the movie because it
okay.
is very low budget. I mean, we had a crowdfunding, but we didn't have anything under our belt, so not many people donated. So all the money came literally from my pockets, from my paycheck. So it is very low budget. It's not a bad movie. It could be better, but it isn't a bad movie. But we are actually gonna reboot it. It's gonna be titled "The Samhain: A Festival to Die For." We're gonna add more backstory to it. We're gonna add new characters, take some characters out, and actually increase the special effects because now we have a budget. So, and now that we know you, and we know some other people, we want to we know that we can grow with crowdfunding. We can get more people to donate to it because we're more well known than we were.
I have a following, more of a following than
Yes.
before. Yep.
Exactly. And I know me and Amanda and Carl did talk. Like, everybody's obviously gonna audition, but we have one major difference in a character, and I can't really say much about it or anything, but we discussed that about who we would like for it. Hopefully that person will audition. So that'll be nice. So
That's definitely
yeah, and another thing about that also, that's also the movie I want to talk to you about at the end, about somebody, after obviously this is all over. I wanted to get your thoughts on it too, so I'm like really excited to talk to you about that.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put you on the hot seat, and out of all of the projects you're involved in, which one are you most excited to see come to life when it's with its release?
Honestly, I'm going to say Massacre Academy. And the biggest reason why is because I've gotten to see those teasers of the
Hmm.
film already
Right.
put together, pieced together in places.
Hmm.
So he actually shared with us, he called it a sizzler,
Hmm.
where that frat party I was telling you about, he like put it together to a Journey song. And it was amazing to watch. Like, obviously we couldn't share it publicly, but
Right.
I'm really excited for that because his level of artistic, like
Hmm.
he shoots his own films, he directs them, and like Mark, the director, like
Hmm.
he's just absolutely
Yeah,
amazing.
that's awesome
He
though.
he has this movie in his head from beginning to end. You know it,
Right.
because when he goes in films, he knows exactly what angles, what lighting, where people are, and just so easy to work with. So I'm definitely
Awesome.
looking forward to that one. Before I forget, the one of the films that I'm involved in that is actually available for you to see, if you want to see me, on the screen, is a Social Distance.
Okay.
That was a movie filmed through Zoom. Has
Okay.
Vernon Wells in it, and a couple other people that are involved in the indie horror industry, like Rachel
Awesome.
Riley and uh, uh, not Dylan, Dawn. What's her name? Dawn.
I know who you're talking about. I
Blonde
seen them.
hair.
Yeah.
Blonde hair. Yeah, but she's in it
Mhm.
as well. So Sherry Davis, she has a little a role in it.
Nice.
Thanks to share. But yes, that's one film that is available
Mhm.
on Amazon. It will be available to stream soon. But Social
Awesome.
Distance, I'm in that one.
Awesome. And the last question I have is, where can any of the listeners that are listening to this on the podcasting platforms, or viewers that are watching this on YouTube, where can they find you if they want to keep updated on what you have going on, either now or in the future?
I am mostly active on Facebook,
Okay.
so just Noellie Burger. I have a unique name. I think that's actually I contribute my name to my getting more noticed in the industry, because it's
Right.
such a unique name.
Right.
Actually, something people ask me is if that's my legal name. It actually is not. My legal name is actually Noel, Noel. I'm
Okay.
adopted, and when I was born, my name was Noellie.
Oh,
So that
okay.
was my name legally at some point. By the time I was adopted, I was 3. So I kind of know my
Hmm.
name as Noellie. They didn't want to completely change it. I do know my biological family. They still call me Noellie. So I just kind of go by Noellie
Right.
because catchy.
Yeah.
And also, of course, my indie horror family Facebook group page.
Hmm.
I'm, keep up with sharing films on there, and
Right.
it's a safe place to go, and keep. Not that there's a lot of drama in the industry, there really
Right.
isn't, but every now and then you get your people that are being,
Yeah.
birds.
Exactly. And you have an IMDb, right?
I do. Yep.
Okay. Yep. So Noellie Burger also on IMDb, and of course follow her on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, Facebook. I don't know where I got Twitter from. On Facebook, and of course, if you're on Facebook, and whether or not you're on her friends list, join her group and enjoy, fun conversations. Help out as much as you can, whether it's sharing or donating to the crowdfunding campaigns that are posted, and just have some fun with fellow horror fans. And it's really a great a great family and a great industry to be a part of. Such loyal fan base, such nice people. I met a lot of people on here. I know, the convention where I actually first met you in person was down, where was that at? I forget the name of the place, Cumberland Drive-In, but I forget the town it was in. But I met a lot of people from there. I met you. I met Bobby Heckman. I met yeah, he's so sweet. I met so many people, Matt Burns. So I met so many great people at that event, and people that I've always talked to on Facebook that I never met.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that was a fun time.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep. Always fun to
yeah,
meet these people in person.
yeah,
So
definitely. Well, I thank you, Noelle, so much. And I will end this call then. And then if you could stay on so I can ask you those questions, then everybody that wants to know what they are, they can find out by following Greystone Films if it does come to fruition. But I'm gonna be asking Noelle for maybe a little bit of help. But thank you, Noelle, again. And for one last thing before I end this, just everybody that is listening to this on podcasting platforms, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, anything, you can go to Slasher Scotty on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, or if you're watching this video on YouTube, just smash the like, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to me. I have many more interviews coming as of now, and I'm sure it's gonna still happen. I'm hoping. I have an an interview tomorrow, so that will be posted sometime tomorrow with JTG, former WWE superstar, and that'll be over Zoom as well. I'm really excited about that as well. So stay tuned and hit that bell icon so you can get notified on any interviews that I have. I'm still uploading my past interviews. I uploaded probably about 10 of them today, and I have about maybe 7 or 8 more to go. So, but thank you again, Noellie.
Thank you. Thank you. This has
Yeah.
been fun.